sis, let's keep it real for a second. You're not here because you want to waste your time being just another girl in some guy's rotation. You're here because you want him to look at you and think, damn, she's the one. I can't lose her. And let me tell you something. Making a man see you as the one isn't about begging, chasing, or twisting yourself into knots to please him. Nah, babe. It's about flipping the script so he is the one chasing you, obsessing over you, investing in you, emotionally, financially, romantically, because he feels deep in his soul that you are the prize. And before you roll your eyes and think, girl, that sounds impossible with men today, let me stop you. I've studied how men think for years, behavioral psychology, evolutionary psychology, even dark psychology, and I can tell you this. Once you understand the triggers that make a man's brain lock onto a woman, you can make him fall hard, fast. But here's the catch. Most women do it backwards. They give too much, too soon, and end up being the fun girl, the placeholder, or worse, the free therapist with benefits. Not my sisters. Not you. Because in this video, I'm breaking down the exact steps to make him see you as the one. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll learn the final secret, what I call the commitment trigger, that makes him stop playing games and finally claim you. So let's get into it. Here's the truth about men, sis. First impressions stick harder than Gorilla Glue. The second he meets you, his brain is already categorizing you. Is she wifey material? Is she just for fun? Is she unforgettable? Or forgettable? And you only get one chance to set the tone. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about being the prettiest woman in the room. Beauty might catch his eye, but energy is what imprints on his memory. Men fall for vibes. So how do you create an irresistible first impression? You lead with feminine presence. That means you don't rush. You don't overshare. You don't do the pick-me dance, trying to prove you're different from other girls. No, baby. You let him wonder what makes you different. Think about it like this. Men are hunters by nature. If you walk in and give him the whole playbook, your life story, your availability, your future goals, all within 30 minutes, guess what? He feels like he's already caught you. There's no mystery, no chase. Instead, flip it. When he asks about you, share just enough to spark curiosity, but not enough to give him the full picture. Drop little breadcrumbs of your personality, your passions, your standards. Make him ask more questions. Because here's the psychology. The more effort he puts into learning about you, the more invested he becomes in you. Do this right, and after just one encounter, he'll be replaying the conversation in his head, thinking, there's something about her. I can't put my finger on it, but I need to know more. And that's exactly where you want him. But let me warn you, first impressions fade fast if you don't follow up with this next step. All right, sis, lean in, because this is where most women miss the mark. Attraction gets his attention, but emotional connection is what makes him stay. See, men can desire 100 women, but the one who makes him feel something different? That's the woman he can't forget. This is where you create what I call emotional addiction. And no, it's not about playing games or fake drama. It's about triggering his brain to release dopamine and oxytocin, the same chemicals tied to pleasure, bonding, and attachment. When he associates you with those feelings, guess what? He's hooked. So how do you do it? Storytelling and vulnerability. Men are logical creatures, but emotions bypass logic. When you tell a story, something funny, something heartfelt, something personal but not overshared, you activate his empathy. You're not just another pretty face. You're a layered, fascinating woman. And when you sprinkle in playful mystery, girl, that's like emotional crack to a man. For example, instead of answering, "What do you like to do for fun?" with a boring, "Oh, I like Netflix and going out," say something intriguing like, "I have this little hobby that nobody ever guesses about me." Then pause. Smile. Make him pull the answer out of you. That pause, that mystery, that's where his imagination takes over. And when a man's imagination is hooked on you, his emotions follow. Once he feels emotionally invested, he'll start seeking your presence, not just for attraction, but for comfort, excitement, and connection. But wait, before you start thinking emotional connection is enough, let me tell you, without boundaries, you're setting yourself up for disaster. And that's exactly why step 3 is so crucial. Listen closely, sis, because this right here separates high-value women from women who get played. Men don't fall in love with women who give them everything. They fall in love with women who respect themselves enough to say no. And I know, society has brainwashed us into thinking that if we want a man to choose us, we have to be endlessly giving, flexible, understanding. But in reality, that's how you end up as his sometimes girl. Let me break it down with psychology. Humans value what they have to work for. If you set clear boundaries about your time, your body, your standards, he immediately registers you as different. He knows he can't just stroll in, take, and dip. Boundaries are not walls, they're velvet ropes. Think of yourself as an exclusive club. Not everyone gets in. And even when they do, there are rules. Dress code, behavior code, respect code. For example, if he texts you at 11 p.m. with a lazy "you up," instead of feeling flattered, you smile and think, "Boy, please." You don't respond. You let him learn that your time is valuable. You're not a convenience. And here's the magic. Boundaries don't push men away. They pull the right men closer, because high-value men respect and crave a woman with standards. The moment you set boundaries, you position yourself as a prize. You're not begging for his attention, you're making him earn it. And that flips the dynamic completely. Now, boundaries alone won't make him commit. For that, you need to tap into something deeper, the secret ingredient that turns respect into obsession. And that, sis, is what we're diving into next. Sis, if these gems are hitting and you're starting to see just how much power you hold in dating, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, because this is just the beginning. I've got way more secrets to drop that'll completely shift how men treat you. Babe, let's get into it. You've got his respect now because you've set those boundaries. But here's the truth. Respect doesn't always equal obsession. And if you want him chasing you like you're his personal lottery ticket, you've got to master the art of feminine mystery and allure. Now let me be clear, this isn't about playing childish games. It's about understanding human psychology. Because here's the thing, the male brain is wired to chase novelty, unpredictability, and challenge. When something feels too easy, he gets bored. But when a woman keeps him guessing, when she's warm, playful, but not 100% predictable, that's when his brain locks in. Think about it like a favorite show on Netflix. If you can predict every single episode, you stop watching. But if each episode ends on a cliffhanger, you binge watch until 3 a.m. That's exactly how men's minds work with women. So how do you create allure? You balance availability with unpredictability. For example, don't always be the first to text back. Sometimes take your time. Let him wonder what you're doing. Let him miss you. Or when you're on a date, don't spill your whole life story in one sitting. Leave some chapters unopened. Tease him with, "That's a story for another time." Now he's already planning that next time just to hear more. And here's the secret sauce. Mystery isn't distance. It's depth. You're not cold or detached. You're warm, engaging, and feminine, but you don't reveal everything. You let him discover you slowly, piece by piece. Do this right, and he won't just like you. He'll crave you. He'll lie awake at night wondering, what is she doing? What is she thinking? Why do I want her so bad? That's obsession. But obsession, sis, still isn't enough. Because a man can be obsessed and still not commit. So how do you turn that obsession into long-term devotion? That's where step 5 comes in. This step right here, it's the game changer. Sis, you don't want it to be just a fun chapter in his story. You want to be the book he never puts down. And the way you do that is by anchoring yourself as the one in his subconscious. Now, how does that actually work? Through contrast and consistency. First, contrast. You show him qualities that other women simply don't offer. Maybe it's your warmth, your playful humor, your calmness under pressure, your ability to uplift him without mothering him. You stand out because you feel different from what he's used to. Second, consistency. You back up that uniqueness with steady energy. You're not hot and cold, dramatic one day and sweet the next. You're reliable in your essence, but still layered enough to keep him curious. Here's an example. Let's say he's venting about work. Most women might either dismiss it, just get over it, or overdo it. "Oh my God, that's terrible. Let me fix it for you." You listen, smile, and say, "I get it. But you know what? A man like you always finds a way to rise." Boom. In that moment, you just anchored yourself as both his safe space and his motivator. You're not nagging him. You're not mothering him. You're inspiring him. And inspiration is addictive. Psychology backs this up. Humans bond to the people who consistently make them feel good about themselves. If every time he's around you, he feels respected, desired, uplifted, and challenged, his brain starts tying the idea of you to home. That's when he stops seeing you as just an option and starts seeing you as the woman, the one he can build with, the one he doesn't want to lose. But here's the final truth. Even if he sees you as the one, some men still drag their feet on commitment. That's why the last step is the most powerful of all. All right, girl, this is the finale. The step that makes a man go from, I like her, to I need to lock her down before somebody else does. It's what I call the commitment trigger. And here's the psychology. Men don't commit because you want them to. They commit because they feel like if they don't, they'll lose something priceless. So how do you activate that? By living in a way that shows him your value, while reminding him subtly that other men see it too. Let me break it down. You have your own life, passions, and goals. He sees that you're fulfilled even without him. You're feminine and warm, but you never lose yourself in him. You're selective with your time. He knows he's lucky to even get it. And when other men notice you, because they will, you don't rub it in his face. But you also don't shrink to make him comfortable. This creates what psychologists call perceived scarcity. He realizes you're rare. He realizes other men would line up for you. And his survival instincts kick in. If I don't claim her, someone else will. That's when he shifts from casual to committed. That's when he starts investing more, planning more, spoiling you more. Because his brain is screaming, this is my woman. I can't lose her. The commitment trigger makes him stop hesitating and finally step into the role you deserve. The man who invests in you emotionally, financially, and romantically. Sis, let's wrap this up with some real talk. If you want a man to see you as the one fast, it's not about chasing, begging, or proving yourself. It's about making a powerful first impression, creating emotional addiction, setting boundaries that demand respect, keeping him hooked with feminine mystery and allure, anchoring yourself in his mind as irreplaceable, and finally, activating the commitment trigger that makes him step up or step out. When you master these steps, you'll stop being the placeholder. You'll stop being the almost. You'll stop settling for breadcrumbs. Instead, you'll become the woman who gets pursued, adored, spoiled, and claimed. And girl, let me remind you, you are already the one. You just needed the strategy to make him realize it. If this video gave you the fire you needed, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. Because I drop videos every week teaching you exactly how to get the love, respect, and commitment you deserve. And trust me, the next one, it's gonna blow your mind. Stay powerful, stay irresistible, and I'll see you in the next one.